FIA have announced the start, and both lights are. Everyone has had a green start. Going down into turn one, you can see everyone fighting. Going through turn two. Just see through turn one now, you can clearly see that the pit lane starts to narrow significantly. You can see Sim just cutting that little chicane there. FIA might have to have a look at that. While Valkyrie is pushing P1. P1 nearly loses it. He's spinning it, but he's kept it on the road still. So good save from him there. Going to see. We're gonna go on board now with Dabu, who is behind Rocco and is running in P4 at the moment, keeping ahead of Jensi and Ahmad, who are pressing him at the moment. They are now going through the few corners, which I really hate, before they start in the main straight. You can see that Rocco is pressuring Emerald. He's also getting pressed by Jensi, who's actually trying to make a move down on the outside, going for the switchback. Rocco locks a rear, and he's lost 2 positions to Ginny and Dabu. He is now up into P6, dropping from him, following him in SST, Sid, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Henry. Trainer and Crazy, 1 position. Rocco's having a shocking race so far, but hopefully he can improve. Going on board with Jensi, you can see how much he's losing to Dabu at the moment. How much time he's lost to Dabu. Valkyrie, you can see Valkyrie and Emerald battling out in front of them. You can see that from the camera of Jensi. But the main battle will be up front, on board now with Trident, the sprint winner of this the sprint winner of the Bahrain sprint, and you can see why he deserves to win this again, as he's in P1, but not by a large margin. He's actually losing time to Emerald, who is nearly loses it there, who's just overtaken Valkyrie down on that main straight. But we've seen from the start finish straight, you can see how much Trident has to manage them tyres. Emerald is now on the gearbox of Trident and will be looking at the roof. He has a slipstream down into turn 1. We do not know what's going to happen here. Hopefully, another best crash. Down into turn 1, but Emerald is in front and is looking to gain, but Trident is fighting back with the soft compound tyre. He has a slipstream down into the break of turn 3. It's not well, but hopefully he can make a move through here. But then the FIA have just announced that Emerald is disqualified from the race. Has just managed to take the lead back from Emerald just because that he was disqualified. So Trident will technically have an advantage in this race, as Valkyrie is nowhere to be seen down on the main straight. On board now with Henry, you can see how much traffic he's in. Look, he's about to overtake Trainer. Dabu is just pressing him. Dabu's actually lost positions. ST has also gained positions on Valkyrie. Somehow he's having a slow race as well. Poor Valkyrie. There's a car upside down, says the fellow commentator. So Ashley, how do you think this race is going so far? Yeah, you can see Trident just crossed the line now, starting lap 5. Following him is SST, who is now going through turn 1. And following him is Crazy, Sin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Trainer, Henry, Dabu, Gensi, and Rocco. Valkyrie has had a shocking race so far. He is last place at the moment. On board now with Trident, you can see how much he has to manage in tyres. He is losing it just slightly, but he is doing well to keep himself in the race. Was it that flipped? Ah. On board now with Crazy Demon, you see he's pressing Henry. It's a bad time for me to view this because Henry is about to lose a position and he loses the position because of the switchback. Dabu is also going to look for an overtake, but meanwhile in the background you can see 14345 overtaking Gensi. He's also had a shocking race. Him coming from P4 now into like P9. It's good shocking from him, but Crazy has just made a lovely move making the switchback on Henry, but it seems to be that Dabu is also want the position to Henry. On board now with Trainer, you can see why he is in B3. He's holding off the rest of the pack who are fighting it out, but might lose out here due to his old soft tires he's been pushing. He came from P7 taking up into P3 at this stage of the race. It is early to tell, but he's worn out majority of his tires, so he's on that tire management task. Trident also just crossing the line, making it 7 out of 30. So it's good to see him dominating. Trainer nearly loses the grip. He's lost some time from that to Crazy Demon, who's having a really good race. He's up into P4 at the moment, but he's looking to catch up to SST by the end of this race. Down on the outside goes Demon, and he flips over. Demon flips over. He's managed to get back into the race, but he has dropped positions. He's now into P9. Just behind Henry. He's going to try and look. He's going to now try and look to gain back. He's going to try and get to the front of the packs. So, and he's just made an overtake past Henry. So it's good to see him playing mind games. Henry goes a little bit wide, but in the end, Demon is just slightly ahead of Henry. Trainer just having a sigh of relief there due to Demon losing out there. onwards now SST. You can see him going down the straight. Just behind him, you can see Trainer probably around 5 seconds behind. FA have just announced that Dabu, Trident, Giga, and Gensi, Rocco, and Kipper, they all have a 3-second time penalty. That won't affect Trident that much as he has a 15-second gap to SST. And you can see that Sin is so close to both Prima cars are now fighting it out for P3. This might be a battle to watch, people. But now with Sin, you can see how much he's having to push these tyres. Sin goes a little bit wide just to turn his car, and that could be an issue. Down into the braking, heavy braking for Trainer there. But it's worked out for him as he's just gotten 2 seconds, no, 10th off that corner, going into the braking here. You can see that Sin is still pushing for that P3 spot. Not as close as he wanted it to be, but he is managing at least. As you can see, Sin is actually lost some positions to Trainer, but meanwhile SST has actually lost some time to Trainer, so you can see Trainer is actually pushing now and on board now with Crazy. He's actually made up all his positions. He's now fighting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he is going to be battling for P4 with Sin having to press, but with Crazy, look at that straight line speed on that Prima, bro. Absolutely insane. You can see him literally ahead now, going into P5. What a move! I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is looking for the switch around, but he is not able. But they have both catched up to Sin, who is on the tyre save in front at the moment. And Sin has had a maze locked up front, and he is now behind Crazy Demon, which is P6, but now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is looking for a position. He's looking to hold his position, being in P4, and they might get outdone here because Crazy has had a better exit. They're both side by side going down to turn 3. Trainer, you can see Trainer now going down to turn 5. Down into the braking. Crazy goes late on the braking, but it's not paid out because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has done the same thing. Meanwhile, There's a lot of fighting. He's giving it a man. No, Crazy Demon has been there again. He's flipped it. He's lost all his positions again. Crazy Demon, who's now back in P6. P7 actually. He is now looking to gain positions. SST and Trainer in the pits. They are going for the undercut on Trident. But meanwhile, Trident has that gap built, so the Sin is just entered the pits. Oh no, he's just come out the pits. You can see him on the hard compound tire, just in front of Crazy Demon, who I think has followed him in. So Sin actually got the jump on Crazy Demon in the pits. You can see Sin is still ahead of Crazy Demon. They are up into P10. Sin is up into P10, but he's actually going to get the overtake done on Dabu. Gensi, who's in. Oh, it seems to be that Crazy stuck. No, Crazy. I thought Crazy kept it there, but no, it was just a little psych. This is good racing from these lot. Only if they're in real F1. on board with Crazy. You can see that he is making positions up now due to these fresh tyres. Because he had a mare, he had two mares getting himself from the top of the grid to being at the bottom again. He is now up into P8, jumping Dabu and Rocco, and will be looking to jump more people. Isn't it? He's bottling this race now. You can see him. He's literally one of the. He's going to be. He's a good driver, but he's bottling his chances. He's ruining them for himself. So hopefully, I'll stop giving him the commentator's curse, because Dabu is now pressuring him. FIF just announced pit window. FIF just announced pit window is closed. It doesn't seem to me that he has any damage at all, but he still has. But we all have to remember he has a 3-second time penalty, so that could be him. Oh, he's hit the wall as well. He's losing some time to SST. He's getting. Trident is losing out now. He was so dominant at the start of the race. Now he's looking to be like he's been one of the slow drivers, because SST is now catching up. Maybe the medium tyres, like you said, aren't working. And Trident, we don't know if Trident has served this penalty. It's not likely that he has. So that penalty might be added onto his race time. So if he stays ahead of SST with a 3-second gap, maybe he could be able to win this race. But the gap now is 9 seconds. He has to drive safely at this point, because if SSD makes a mistake, then that's good for him, because he has to be driving cleanly now. And you can see Trident going through turn 10.
Alright, so the commentator has left, so you are stuck with me. With he's fighting the leader of Rocco and Indonesia is Alex Cruz, and it's easy Trident. He is doing an absolutely wonderful race. Find some shares. who was drafted in back in season 0 for the FAS Academy, and now here in season 1 he's driving for the Ferrari Academy. Driver with big potential, and even his results. Yeah, crazy former F1 driver. He's doing quite bad actually, but he's actually quite decent considering that he's coming in pits. Like I said, former F1 driver, great driver in the F1, retired unfortunately, replaced by Ashley. Here he is, number 2. So 9 laps to go, and Trident is still at it, leading this race. Stoic, this is trying his absolute hardest to catch Trident. Watch now as barely making any progress at all. And I've just been informed that Dal has some changed time. 11 started the race on the softs, and when he's done his pit, the team has told him to go on the softs again. Now that is, well, he can do it, but he has to use two different compounds. And Dab has to pit any second now. Laps to go. Trident with an immense lead. Stoic has got one entire second in that last lap. I don't know what Trident did, but Stoic is flying right now in comparison to Trident. Trident flips! Trident flips! He's slowly gonna lose a heat of time right now. Here we see Stoic in the background. Oh, huge time loss for Trident. We're gonna go oval with SSC. Back to 6 laps to go. 4 seconds separate Trident and SST. This is it. It's either going to be SST or Trident. On board with Trident once again. He's going through the S's and catching up to one of the V carbs. I think that's Rocco. Yeah, that's Rocco taking the downhill into the back straight. On board with Stoic, who's not much behind. Trident, as we can see, is in the same frame, not anymore, but he was in the same frame just a few seconds ago. SST pushing the limits of that Stake Academy car. And Trident has gotten another track limit. That's 5 track limits now for the British car. And SST 3 seconds and 3/4 separate these two magnificent drivers. 5 laps to go, and this is anyone's race. Well, anyone's race by that I mean Trident and SST. Oh, that's a flip for the V-Cup. That's a flip for the V-Cup of Rocco. He seems to be okay. He doesn't seem to have lost too much time, but he is now lapped. Drivers for now. On board with Crazy Demon E6. He has started from the pit lane. What a decent race for the Italian driver who used to race in Formula 1. 4 laps to go. Trident goes through the line one more time. 3.3 seconds separate SST and Trident. Trident is under pressure for once. Now, fellas, I'm just as baffled as you are, because I can't really process who might win, really.
Well, I think Stoic is actually on this tail. He's got 3 seconds to get there, and he's got 4 laps to chase him down. We'll really have to see how far he can push the limits of that Stake car.
On board with Trainer in P3, 11 seconds separate him from the leader. Great race by the Alpine driver. Started from the pit lane, got drafted mid-season from mid-race. Got replaced the main driver, and is now here in Formula 2. 3 laps to go, and SST is exactly 3 seconds away from Trident. These are unfamiliar terrains for Trident in comparison to a sprint race. Trident competed in a sprint race from start to finish, but now he's seeing how the lead might be threatened in this feature race. We can see Trident is in the exact same shot as the Stake of SST.
I think what was really interesting is that battle for P1, that
Trident's really pushing so fast. There's not going to be any safety cars, I don't think, in the last 3 laps.
Yeah,
Fingers crossed.
I don't think there's gonna be any safety cars. No, it
No,
will
I
be.
think they've got this. But if you look further down in the pack, the fight for 8th between Valerix and Debu, I think that's a real hitter because they're fighting for one of the last points, and there's only about 2 seconds, 3 seconds in it.
Let me correct you there, Simon. They're actually fighting for for 4 points. Oh my God! SST just cut the gap from 3 to 2 seconds. 2 laps to go, and SST is making a huge push forward.
The real question is 2 laps enough to catch Trident?
That's the real question. Yes, but
And by the way,
the
it's
gap
gone.
seems to be getting closer and closer. It's gonna be close, Simon. It's gonna
Was that Trident going off?
I think so. Yeah, Trident has gone off.
Well, the gap is very close now. We can see them right next to each other.
Trident going through the back straight into the left-hander, turn 10. And SSC following
Slightly
behind.
wide. A little bit of oversteer there for SST.
Oh, SSC. Sorry, Trident goes into the sand. He is
He's
going
lost a lot
very
of
wide.
time. He's lost a lot of time on that turn. SST is going to be right up his tail for about 2 seconds, coming down to barely anything. And
Great
remember,
exit
they
from the
both
second-
have 3-second penalties.
A great exit from the last corner from SST. 1.4 seconds separate these drivers on the final lap of the race. Final lap of the
It
race.
all comes down to this.
It all comes down to this. Yes, it is.
Well, if you look again, Jenny's Boo versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The battle for 4th as well is fierce with less than a second in it. It's gonna be a very, very tight race.
This is a very entertaining race, to be honest. We got more than 3 fights ongoing on track right now.
Well, actually, it's a 3-way battle for the 4th place against 1, 2, 3, 4, Jenny and Crazy Demon within a second of each other. However, Crazy Demon is outstanding a pit stop because he didn't change his compounds.
Yeah, that's right. Trident entering the final sector. SSD has given it all he got, but it's proving to be not enough. As
What
Trident,
a drive, bro.
What
What a drive.
Trident lost it in the
Both
final
drivers-
corner! Trident almost lost it in the final corner. Oh, but
Trident staying ahead, he's managed to keep it as his lead
Trident
very
wins
narrowly
here in Bahrain.
by
What a
1.1
performance.
seconds. Stoic comes in for 2nd place and the trainer comes in to take the final
Third
podium.
place.
Great race.
Fourth go is from 1, 2, 3. Gen Z.
Jenny managed to stick on by 2/100ths of a second. Wow, that was really a
Wow, that was a photo finish. That was a photo
What-
finish.
That was amazing.
Yeah, what a race.
I think we concur. Bahrain did not disappoint this weekend in both sections. I think there was an amazing challenge.
P7, and in P8 is the poleman, Valerix. What a disappointing race for him.
He has dropped a long way from where he was yesterday.
Through the final corner goes Henry. He finishes P9.
And that's points for the stick man.
And Dowd. Dowd hasn't gone through the finish line yet. He's going very slow.
He should be the last one to collect some points here under the stars at Bahrain. And he comes down the pit straight to collect 10th position.
Oh, Rocco did actually. Rocco overtook Dowd on the last second. Rocco gets
Well,
one
I stand corrected. Rocco has taken 10th position and the 1 point from Debu by 2 seconds. Wow,
Yep, what a surprise.
very big surprise. No one saw that coming on the last lap, did they?
Nope. As you can see, the top three on the on their respective positions, just below the podium.
Well, I think that was a magnificent race, and I think we're just going to head over there now.
Let's head for the podium to see how the drivers are feeling after this exciting race.
I think we should go down to our correspondent at the trackside. I think that was an amazing race, Ashley. I don't know about you, but I was very entertained right from the get-go.
Yeah, it was a great race. There were a lot of on-track battles, and I think this was a very good season start for F2.
Wow, Season 1 for F2 could not be more competitive. It could come from anywhere, and the early disqualification of Emerald for using the grip glitch really gave it out there for anyone to win. I think it was anyone's game, and it was an amazing gamble from all the drivers who gave it
let's
their
hope
all.
Emerald has learned his lesson and doesn't use the glitch again.
Of course, he's learned his lesson, and hopefully he's actually there next race in China, and he's ready to display some more of his talent, because we both know he's a very talented driver.
Trackside reports that the podium celebration should begin shortly.
And we wait to see our 3 drivers, Trainer, Trident, and Stoic, in that order for P3, 1, 2, as they would stand on the podium, and then we will hear their national anthems.
Wow.
Unfortunate.
Three. Trainer seems to be a bit absent.
He does seem to be AFK, but we will, oh, he's been disconnected. We can definitely sort that out.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, no worries. I can deal with that, actually. It's P3.
Oh my god, it keeps tagging. We seem to be having audio difficulties. Mm-hmm.
I think it was a magnificent drive from everyone, all the drivers, all the way down. I think they should all be very proud of themselves performing here under the stars in Bahrain for the first open race, feature race for F2 in Season 1.
Yep. Definitely couldn't have asked for a better start for these 3 young rookies.
Definitely. I think they've had an amazing start to the season, and I don't think it's going to end there.
Actually, correction. 2 young rookies and a legend.
Oh, yeah. Trident, well, our Fernando Alonso rookie coming back, returning after a long, long absence. I think he's ready to prove himself a legend once more.
Yep. And the anthem celebrations should begin any second now. We're about to hear the British anthem for the winner, Trident. Oh dear, that's not what I wanted to do. Mercedes.
And the boxes are open, and the bird is flying in Bahrain, and they should definitely be proud of themselves for this. This is a victory to remember. That's it, folks. From the race, we can now move on to the post-race ceremony, and we'll leave you with our greatest correspondent, Ashley. Thank you very much. Good night, folks.
Good night. Well, that's a wrap for the weekend. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to the live stream. And I think